Hey, what's up, guys? Kayak Mike here. I am live with Joe Hatfield. And like always, I'm going to take a break here, let Joe talk for a second, and then I'm going to go post this live to all the Facebook groups and, get it going that way because Facebook doesn't post a live the same way it used to. Oh, geez, just like that. All right, here we go. All right, you're up.
All right, brother. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. It's usually one of my favorite weekends of the year. We're partnering with Mike and the National Trail. It should be fun 3 days. Friday, we have the captain's meeting, which we're having our cookout that we started last year. I have a bunch of food for everybody. It starts at 5, ends around 7, 8-ish. Plenty of food, family friendly. It's open to everyone in the catfish community. You bring yourself, bring your kids. You might bring some lawn chairs because we're doing it at the Walnut Ramp this year. We didn't get the shelter house. It was kind of a tight area last year. But, on the docket, brats, hot dogs, tacos. I'm doing 2 pulled pork butts, Mexican lasagna, mac and cheese, tons of food and drinks. So just want to stop out and say, hey, Jeremy Chase is coming into town with Chasing Outdoors, and he'll be bringing a bunch of equipment, rods, reels. He sells the Strychnine hooks and weights, which have been pretty popular recently, planer boards. So he'll come loaded to bear if anybody needs any gear. Jeremy's a huge supporter of the trail, and huge supporter of the community as a whole. Always a good guy to come meet when he's in town. But yeah, 3 days, pretty much full of fishing. We ever get together. Mike's doing the National Trail event on Saturday. Hoover Cats is going off Sunday, 7 to 4. Check-in will be at Oxbow Boat Ramp. And we're going to get the details later, but this event is going to be a no-holds-barred, which allows, the weight division anglers to intermingle and join the measurement division. So we could have a pretty loaded measurement division for this tournament. And, if we're looking at angler count, it could be a pretty good payday for somebody who ends up winning that event. But yeah, 3 days, just full of fun and fishing. I hope everybody makes it out. And like I said, the cookout again. It's a Walnut Boat Ramp, 5 to 7, tons of food, family friendly. Hope to see everybody there.
All right, I am almost done posting it everywhere, and let's get into it. So I heard you touch on the cookout. So for anyone watching, the cookout is going to be over here. It's at the Walnut Street Boat Ramp. So here is all of Lake Hoover, the southernmost boat ramp, Walnut Boat Ramp right here. We'll have the spread put out around here somewhere. There's a ton of space. We'll be doing our board checks there for the national scene as well. So the National Kayak Trail, who's fishing there on Saturday, make sure you bring your bump boards. I don't need to see your kayak, but you do need to bring your bump boards anytime between preferably 5 and 7. We have it set to 5 to 8, but I would like you guys there between 5 and 7. I will go over the King Cat National Kayak Trail rules now. We're going to blast through that because those guys, they essentially know all the rules. And then we're going to do a deep dive into the OLS, the Ohio Link Series, and the Hoover right after. So same thing, Friday night, packet pickup / your check-in / party is 5 to 7, open to the public. We're going to stay till 8 if anybody needs to make it. Remember, if you cannot make packet pickup, you cannot be bait fishing at that time. I do allow people to do their packet pickup check-in Saturday morning if they need to. That is a case-by-case basis. That is for anglers who can't physically make that night. Let's say they're a local and they're working, all that kind of stuff. If you cannot use not coming to check-in as a strategic advantage. So if it's between 5 and 8 p.m. and you cannot check in that night and you are caught bait fishing, you are disqualified from my scene for the rest of the year, not just for that event. So I want to make that very clear. This way, no one gets it twisted that this check-in is not optional for you National Kayak guys. It is mandatory. I do let you do it Saturday morning if you can't make it with good reason. You cannot use not coming as a strategic advantage to bait fish. Trailing's legal during our event on Saturday. You don't have to meet up anywhere in the morning unless you do have to check in first. Lines in are 7, lines out's 3. All your photos have to be submitted by 4. If we come back to this boat or this map, the checkout ramp on Saturday for the National Kayak Guys is Oxbow Boat Ramp. You have to be within eyesight and identifiable from this boat ramp if you're on the water. If the boat ramp's busy, you don't necessarily have to be off the water. But if you're just hanging out right here and I can identify you from the boat ramp, you are successfully checked in. If you leave early, send me a video on Facebook Messenger of you in this parking lot before 3, and then you can leave. That's perfectly fine. I'm trying to think of anything else. If anyone wants to stay and needs housing, Joe is housing up to like 45 people. As many people who want to stay there. Here's the thing. If we run out of room, you can camp in his yard. That's perfectly fine.
I got tons of floor space, and I got air mattresses. I think the most we did was 8. That was 2 years ago. Yeah. So if anybody needs a place to crash for the night, yeah. I got room.
And then your
I'll feed you.
Yeah. You have to be back to checkout by 4. Your fish have to be submitted by 4. The only way you can submit a fish after 4 p.m. is if you have actively told me that you are working on submitting your fish and you are with me at the checkout trying to get them submitted. If you're actively working with me at the checkout in person, we can extend that time a little bit. But if you're holding onto your pictures till last minute, or if you're getting to the checkout ramp at 3:55, 3:50 and you're having issues, I'm sorry, I'm not going to give you any kind of leeway. But if you show up there at 3 and we're working on it, and for whatever reason we can't get them submitted, we will work with you and we will get it all submitted. Remember to have your GPS and timestamp turned on. I will hand you your identifier. And as far as boundaries, guys, this is the main body of water. Anything that's navigable from the main body of water is boundaries. And this goes for all 3 events over the weekend. Navigable to us means you can get in, turn around, and get out in a kayak without getting out of the kayak and without scraping bottom. Joe, I'll let you, if you have a different definition of navigable for yours, you can say so, but that's essentially ours. So if you can get into there from the main body of water with a kayak and turn around and get out and never touch bottom, you're good. And yeah, that's the national. Oh, one last thing, and very important, especially to you locals. Remember, the National Trail is a 2 pre-fishing day during the week of. What that means is the moment your watercraft touches that water, that counts as your pre-fishing day. So if you fished on Saturday, if you fished on Sunday, if you fished on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever this week, you use one of your pre-fishing days up. Bait fishing in a kayak in the body of water counts as your pre-fishing day. You can bank fish as much as you want. That's unlimited. But in a watercraft, in any watercraft, if you compete in the National Trail, you can only fish in that body of water 2 days during that week leading up. So I just wanted to remind everyone in our scene kind of knows that, but I did want to reemphasize that rule. And yeah, that's about it. I took a little longer than I want. I do apologize. So let's go into the other stuff, the Hoover and OLS. They are 2 separate events, guys. I do want to make that clear. The OLS and Hoover length are 2 completely separate events. You can fish both. You can fish one or the other, but they're both running the identical rules. So any rule we talk about from here on out applies to both those events. When you're submitting a fish, if you submit a fish if you're fishing both, you don't have to submit it to each tournament individually. You can click on submit. All the tournaments will pop up. Check off all the tournaments, and it'll shoot it to all the leaderboards at once. Last year, we did this as 1 event. This year, we're kind of testing out to see if it's 2 events, because if one angler is chasing one series more than the other, they don't have to sign up. But this is creating more opportunities for more anglers to get into more events. So they're both $55 entries. They're both $10 to big fish, both $40 to the pot. And let's start talking about this. Oh, I'm so sorry. If anyone's new and you need to brush up on the rules, because there may be some new anglers this weekend, Online Catfishing Tournaments YouTube page, go to the playlist, come down here, click on 2025 important videos. You will learn everything you need to know about our scene once you click on that. And shout out to the sponsors, Fleagle Electric. He has gotten all of our plaques and awards this year. They're sweet. He's also been doing the month-long Champions Awards, which is pretty awesome. And then Raccoon Creek Outfitters. Shout out Raccoon Creek Outfitters. Essentially, I would say 80% of all the kayaks you see this upcoming weekend were purchased from Raccoon Creek Outfitters. Okay. Now let's go into it. Man, I need to learn how to plug those guys right in the beginning. I always forget that, man. I feel terrible.
So I know the big thing, and I think we could probably bookmark it here. How far are we in? I can't. Is there a timestamp?
There should be.
Oh,
Here,
yeah, 9, 12, let's do even 10 minutes in.
10 minutes even, yeah.
Let's go over the no holds barred rules, because I know a lot of the guys are going to have questions about this.
Yep.
So you want to kind of discuss your ideas and the rules for this?
Let me pull this up so there's no distraction. Okay, there we go. All right, so anyone fishing the Ohio Lake Series or the Hoover Lake Series this weekend, what we're doing is we are adopting the boat rules because we're allowing the guys who are fishing in the weight event to also submit their fish to our tournament. It's to increase the numbers, increase the payouts, all that kind of stuff. If you are in a boat, you are maxed out at 6 rods, and you can only have one registered angler per watercraft. Now, that doesn't mean one person can run 6 rods. That's illegal. You still have to have another person or two in the boat to get to the 6-rod limit per state laws. But you can submit fish caught on all 6 rods to that one tournament if you have one person registered in that event in that boat. That's perfectly fine. For instance, let's say Joe and I are in the same exact boat. Joe registers for the Ohio Link Series and the Hoover Link Series. All the fish we catch on that boat that day can be submitted to those leaderboards. It's a no holds bar. Everyone can submit all their fish from their particular watercraft. I have been doing this now for 5 or 6 years. Joe helped on, 2.5 years, a year and a half ago at this point. Time flies.
2.5.
2.5 years roughly. So in that time, we have noticed the length division, which only allows 3 rods, competes with or outfishes the weight division almost every single event. So anyone in a kayak, if you're coming into this saying, oh, well, they get to run 6, I get to run 3, that's not, they have an unfair advantage. The data does not support that. It just doesn't. We are on very even terms as far as competition when it comes to 3 rods in a kayak versus 6 rods in a boat. Now, I'm not going to be like Ryan Bors and talk trash and say like we're better. That's not what I'm saying. Because 3 boaters could take top 3 just as easily as 3 kayakers can take top 3 in any of the events. Like, let me make that very clear. I am not talking trash. All I'm saying is the statistical data does not support one is better than the other. And that's just the facts. That's not me having an opinion.
Yeah, Austin scraped by me that last tournament. We tied, but he got me on big fish.
Yeah.
So at the Griggs tournament. But if anybody's fished Seneca or Griggs, it's the same. The Central Ohio Trail, it's basically the same rules.
Yeah.
One registered angler per boat, 6 rods. It doesn't matter what fish comes in that boat. You can grab it, measure it, and then put it in your live well if you're in the measurement division. So
weight division, you mean? If you're in the weight division, yeah.
One of these years I'm going to get both of those right. I keep on getting it mixed up for some reason.
Yeah.
It's like all the measurement and the length, and then I throw in the weight. So, but yeah. So a lot of the guys who will be doing this probably do have experience if they fish the Central Ohio Trail because we get a lot of crossover.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And real quick picture standards, it's really simple. All fish minus flatheads, right side down, left side up. Make sure you have your identifier in the photo. The tournaments on Saturday and Sunday, you will have to write out your own identifier. The tournament on Saturday, the National Kayak guys, they know I hand them identifier on Friday. I'll be handing them an identifier at check-in. It'll be a mixture of numbers and letters. No one has access to that other than me, and that will be given out 10 minutes prior to lines in. So on the app, and actually I'll just pull the app up right now. On the app, let me pull it over here. We'll go to the tournament. So if you're on the tournament page, right here, it'll say view identifier when the identifier becomes available. And then you just click on that, and then it'll tell you what the 5 letters or numbers are. And you write that down somewhere, and then that has to be – I never shared my screen. Oh, boy. Okay. All right. Let me do that again. I do apologize. All in all, this is going a lot smoother than our lives normally go, though, so I am happy about that.
Yeah, it has.
So download the Fishing Chaos app. Once you're here, look up online catfishing tournaments. To find the tournament, you go to tournaments. You go to Hoover Link Series. Let's say you're trying to find the identifier. I made the identifier identical for both. That way we don't have to mess with anything. Right around here, it's going to say View Identifier. And on your phone, it'll be right in the middle. What you see here is going to look exactly the same on your phone. Click on View Identifier, get those 5 digits, write those 5 digits down somewhere. And remember, every digit has to be completely legible. Let's say one of the digits is an O, and you are submitting a picture and part of that O is crossed off and is now making a C because the fish's tail is crossing off that O. That fish will be disqualified because that is not an O. So every letter has to be legible and it has to be the letter in the identifier. I've been very, very consistent on that this year. We haven't had a lot of disqualifications because of it, but it does happen occasionally. And it's the one that breaks my heart the most because I understand picturing fish isn't always the easiest, but make sure every letter is clearly legible and every letter is truly its letter. If it's not the true letter, I will have to DQ it, even if it's the same identifier you used on the last 50 fish that you submitted. So, listen, look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's rubbing.
I know. I saw him bragging.
Oh, so Austin's 2-0 right now in the no hole in the what a jerk. He's 2-0 right now in the crossovers. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. A lot of the kayakers and boaters they'll do side bets anyway during these tournaments. So I'm really it's one of my favorite weekends of the year, if not my favorite weekend of the year, just to hang out with everybody.
Yeah, it's usually a really good time.
Yep.
Always had a lot of fun doing this event.
Yeah, Texas is coming up. Andrew Green already signed up for the national event. I saw that.
He messaged me just to make sure that you weren't lying about the free hotel.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome, Andrew. I'm looking forward to seeing you, bud.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get everything ready and clean. I went into the grocery shopping and got all the stuff, so I'll be cooking a lot on Friday. And just let everyone know, Friday, I'm ditching out a little bit early. My buddy's band's playing. They're opening up for Crowbar. So it's a big show for them. My fishing partner, actually, for this event, he'll be playing. So, Mike, you get to run my house for about 3.5 hours.
Oh, that's a mistake.
Sure when I come back, it's not on fire.
That's a mistake. No, I'll be up there tomorrow night. So if anyone in Columbus needs me for whatever reason, I will be up there tomorrow night. I'm leaving my house after work tomorrow, going to Joe's. We're going to try and get some bait on the lake, and then after that, I'm going back to his house. I'm working remote all day at Friday at Joe's house, so I will be available Friday. If you need me for whatever reason, I can meet up with you somewhere, or you can come over to Joe's. I can answer questions, etc. I'll be leaving Joe's about 4:00 to head over to Walnut. We'll be setting up the food, and then we're just going to hang out, have a good time, and just look forward to the weekend. The national kayak event is on Saturday. The other 3 tournaments technically, because we haven't even mentioned the weight division. Don't forget, there is a weight division going on Sunday as well. Those guys will be competing in their normal trail.
I talked about that at the beginning. Like I said, check-ins at Oxbow, tournament 7 to 4, lines in 7, lines out at 4. I will be there probably around 5:30 in the morning to check people in. Once you check in, do a live well check. You can go anywhere on the lake. Cast net only during the check-in hours. So from 5 to 7, no rod and reel. You can catch bait with the cast net. That's it.
Gotcha.
Most of my guys know the rules. I hope we get a good turnout. Like I said, this is probably my favorite event of the year to run as well, just to get everybody in town and kind of hanging out and doing our thing. There was one thing I wanted to run by you or have you discuss, and I can't remember what it was. So if I do, I'll post it on Facebook.
Sounds good. And then I might be making the executive decision to make the length side just one event and not 2, because that's how it was supposed to be. That's how it was last year, and I guess I just forgot that, and I made 2 separate events. So thinking about it, I don't necessarily think I want people spending $110 to compete. I think the numbers will be worse. I think we'll have 2 small tournaments as opposed to 1 big tournament. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get working on that right now. And Blaine Peterman, you're the only one who signed up for both at the moment. I'll get you your money back for the other, and I can finagle this. I'll fix it. I don't know why I did this. It's supposed to be one event because you can do one event that scores to multiple scoreboards for trails. That's how it was last year. That's how it was supposed to be this year. And yeah, I noticed that right before we went live, and I was like, why did I do that? It's supposed to be one event. It's not supposed to be two.
So just for the measure or the weight division guys who are going to enter that side. Yep. Alva just asked the question. I was just gonna say, do they enter in the Hoover Cats or do they enter under the OLS?
It's going to be one tournament. It's going to be under both. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be one tournament. It's not supposed to be two. I know when we started this live, we mentioned it was two, and if you want to chase one or the other, but that makes no sense. Like, I don't know. Like, it was just a mistake. I'm human. I made a mistake. So, and it doesn't negatively impact anybody. So I'm going to correct that the moment we get off here.
Okay. On the Hoover Cats side, one thing I do want to say is I posted our rules and regulations. I went in and combined both the measurement division, which yours is like 30 pages, mine's 3. I
got to do a lot of waivers and liabilities and
I just reposted all that up to the Hoover Cats page. Sorry it took me so long. I thought I lost that document. And it took me forever to find it. It was buried somewhere in my Google Drive, so I was able to find it and put everything back together. So I actually just put that up today because I know some guys have been asking about the rules and regs for these tournaments. So all that is posted on the Hoover Cats. If you go to the Hoover Cats page and go to files, it's in there. I also have it pinned at the top.
Awesome. And then I'll do one thing real quick just in case because I noticed a few other people came on. For guys who are watching, if you go to the online catfishing tournaments YouTube page, go to playlists, click on 2025 important videos. That essentially summarizes the stuff you need to know. Our rule book's excessive, but every time something happens in the online world, I gotta add something to the rule book. If you watch these quick 4 videos, you will essentially be completely up to date on everything you need to know to fish legally in our tournaments. It seems daunting on our side sometimes, but it's actually really simple. Like, it's hard to screw up. You sign up, you put an identifier in a photo, right side down, left side up, make sure they're bumped, and that's really all you need to know. It's really all you need to know. How will that? It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing, Austin. So, like, let's say you win this event, and let's say you take second and big fish. That's 101 points. You would just get 101 points for both leaderboards. That's how that would work.
I would just ask a question. I think we already addressed it.
How about 2 guys in a boat, 1 guy in weight, 1 guy in length? I'm not sure what you mean. So you can fish both tournaments. Weight, you can fish the weight division and you can fish the length division. Only one person can be registered in the length division. So, Alva, if you have someone in your boat, all 6 rods count for the length division. Go ahead and submit any fish that you catch. And then when you go do your weigh-in, just that's business as usual for the weight side.
And on the weight side, you don't want to do 1 angler because then you're only limited to 1 over. So I highly suggest people don't do that.
Yeah, and then
it's a team event. You need that second Hoover.
Yeah, you need a second guy. Plus, if you only have 1 person in the boat, you can only run 3 rods. Remember, maybe I didn't make this clear in my post earlier because somebody actually asked, how does 1 person get to run 6 rods? Remember, it's state laws. You can only run 6 if you have 2 people or more in the boat. You cannot be a solo angler and run 6 rods. That's not a thing. So,
my fishing partner here doesn't count.
Yeah,
that's usually what she looks like during tournaments.
Yeah. Honestly, the best way to remember the rules is just fish the weight division rules and submit your fish to the length division leaderboard. That's all you got to really remember.
And the good thing about the one thing that I've noticed an advantage in this kind of format is with the weight guys, because a lot of us, are newer to this kind of format. If we mess up, we always have the ability to grab the fish out of the live well and redo it. Yeah,
that is. Take multiple pictures, guys. Always take multiple pictures of your fish.
Yes, and take multiple pictures.
Yeah.
I remember the one thing. The one thing I've been struggling with doing the last couple measurement division tournaments is bumping the fish with fish grips. Any advice? I know flatheads are pretty easy because they'll kind of lay there. But the last couple of tournaments I did with channel cats, and they, like you said, those things are wild. I try and take the grips and run them at a parallel with the fish's. The fish will be here. I try and run my grips under so you can see where that's bumped.
Mhm.
But any other advice you can give to anglers so you don't have to take off a quarter of an inch or a half an inch because of a gap issue?
So if you're in a boat, my advice is don't use grips. So you're in a boat. Just measure them on the floor. That way, if they flop around, you got time.
No, one of them went out through the bilge, and Zachariah caught it by the tail.
Oh yeah.
They can escape a boat just as easy as, well, not easier than a kayak, but they can do it.
If you have your hand on the grips and you can like angle it over, if you're tall enough, or if you're in a boat, it should be pretty easy. One person puts their, because you can hold the fish down with a hand. You can't be actively, like, your hand can't look like it's actively like pinching their tail, but you can hold your hand down, and one person be holding the fish grips while the other person takes a picture. That's perfectly fine. If you're in a kayak, we're in a little bit more of a situation where we have to, if we're doing it like that, you got to be like, because I can't do it like that because I'm short, so I can't like hold them and do it. I actually had to ding myself like 1.5 inches at Sandusky because all of my fish grips were blocking you couldn't see the bump, so I had to ding myself almost 2 full inches because I fish grip issues. So the best thing I can do is just take multiple pictures, move that catfish into your platform while you review the picture and make sure it's very clear, then release the catfish. Okay. That's my suggestion.
Leave the hook in the fish's mouth until the pics are uploaded. That's one option I don't have because Tons of Fun here will try and eat the rig. Last time she went and licked a channel cat in the mouth and it clamped on her, so she got a little surprise there.
Poor poor dog. I was going to say poor fish.
She got to learn. That's just dumb. You don't stick anything in a channel cat.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right, well, I think we're good. I'm going to go make this adjustment right now and make it 1 event for length, not 2. And then guys who are wondering for the length side, for scoring for points, it's going to automatically score both. You don't have to worry about that. So we're good to go there.
All right, brother.
All right.
I think we got her covered. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll go out and get some bait. Just let me know when you're coming. I'll have everything ready.
Sounds good. All right. See you later, bud.
Bye, bud.